Yo, it's Mo, what's up guys, and today I am back with part 2 of my MLB 13 The Show Wishlist. This should be about a 12-minute video, and if it exceeds that, well then maybe I'll make part 2.5. But I really covered the big topics in the first two videos, and so right now I'm going to cover some, I guess you could say minor topics, although some of them are pretty big to me. And so without further ado, let's get right into it. Just let me find it. It's a sticky note on my phone. Okay, here it is. So right off the bat, no pun intended, I'm just gonna start with things that I liked that have been implemented either this past year or within the past couple of years. The ability to import music is huge because there's nothing worse, no offense, than an MLB The Show generic music. And this is definitely a feature that probably 80% of people use. Being able to import their own music, because quite frankly, if I'm playing a game, I would much prefer to listen to the music that I like than the music that is in the game selected by the creators. The ability to customize camera views while batting and while pitching, because like you've seen my camera view, it's basically from the perspective of a catcher, and that helps me pick up breaking pitches and helps me see where balls are going to go. And so that's a feature that I really enjoy. And then the bullpen options, I think those were implemented this past year. Like stretch and toss, warm up, sit down, ready and waiting, and come into game next inning or something like that. I really like these options because if I want to get a pitcher warm, let's say I want to get my closer warm in the 8th inning, but he may not need to come in the 8th inning, but just in case I get into a big jam and I want him to come in, I might select stretch and toss, just so he can start stretching and tossing. And then if I don't need him in the 8th inning, he can continue to stretch and toss until the 9th, and then that's when I'll bring him in, and he will be perfectly warm. And then, also, how much trading goes on. Sometimes this annoys people, like you see Cueto, you see Strasburg, Mauer, McCutcheon all on the Tigers in like 2015, but I actually think that's pretty cool. I think it's a pretty cool part of the game. And then also the 5 GB faster loading times. This is huge for me, absolutely huge. The loading times in this game are record-breaking, record-shattering, and it's definitely something that I really like this year. Because, I mean, loading a game used to take 2 or 3 minutes, but now it's really only taking like 30 seconds or so. And so let's get right into the wish list itself now. Things to add. Now, let's start off with pulse pitching. I liked it this year, and it's really a good part of the game, especially for people like my sister and my dad, who sometimes, I'm bored and I want to play a game against them, but they have no idea how to use the pitching meter or classic or the right analog stick pitching. And so pulse pitching, it actually takes a few minutes to get used to, but once you're used to it, it's a very, I wouldn't say easy pitching mechanic, but it's definitely a much more simple pitching mechanic than in past years. But sometimes I feel like the pitches are still a little bit erratic. Like when I do it the smallest possible on the outside corner, sometimes it's actually out of the zone, and I feel like the ball doesn't always end up inside, but the edge of the ball could be on the outside of the pulse. And so in order to make the pitching more accurate, I'd prefer if they made the ball land somewhere inside of the circle instead of the edge being on the outside, because with the meter it's pretty easy to locate, and with the right analog stick pitching it's pretty easy to locate. And so to make pulse pitching kind of like that, they should make the balls land somewhere inside the meter. It's just a little something that I noticed this past year. And the catcher going out to talk to the pitcher to waste time for a reliever. In the MLB they do this, and it does not count as a coaching visit, but in MLB The Show, all you can do is coaching visits. And so if you could have the ability to, but just basically make the catcher walk out to the mound and talk to the pitcher a little bit, waste some time for the reliever to get a little bit more warmed up. And I just feel like it would add some realism to it because, like I said, in the MLB they do that. And a bar showing how desperate a team is to get rid of a player at the trade deadline, or basically the stock of a player. the Brewers are pretty interested in getting rid of Zach Greinke, and so in my opinion, they did not get a lot from the Angels. But the Mets were thinking up of giving David Wright, but they would only trade him if they got a ton of like A-list prospects. And so I think they should add a bar next to the player or underneath the player near the trade deadline that basically shows how much the team is willing to give up or how much the team wants to get rid of the player. And then adding on to that, have a list of the top 50 or 100 prospects. You could put this in like, I don't know, like around the league or something. But if I'm in the year 2016, I may have no idea like who is a good prospect, and if I want to give up a top pitcher like Steven Strasburg at the trade deadline, I may not know who good young pitchers are, and I might have to go through some teams, try to find some A prospects. But if they could just add like a list, just like a list of some players, the top 50 prospects in the MLB or in the farm system, it would just, I mean, it wouldn't add realism, but it would just help in franchise mode, just so you could see, well, who are some good young players, and if I want to give up this player might be beneficial to my team in 2 or 3 years or something like that. And then after that, a true broadcast camera like on TV, or the ability to customize a fielding camera, because like I said earlier, in MLB The Show you can customize a batting camera and you can customize a pitching camera. And so if they could have the ability to customize a fielding camera or even just have a true broadcast camera, because I haven't noticed that there's like a true to life broadcast camera, like just that one camera from behind home plate looking left and right and straight. I really haven't noticed that, but if there is, that's great. I haven't really gone through all the camera options, but if there's not, I would definitely like a broadcast camera, like a realistic broadcast camera. And something like the Infinity Engine in Madden, nothing bothers me more than seeing a player go through another player, or like the ball going through the bat. That's happened to me a couple times, and I know it's happened to Mr. Hurricane before, and probably other people also. But it just bothers me when a player goes through another player's leg, or the ball goes through the bat. I don't know. And then fixing being able to get thrown out from right field. This rarely happens in the MLB, but for some reason in the show it happens quite a bit. I actually posted a video a while back. I don't think a lot of people saw it because it's when it had like 100 subscribers. But it's of Vladimir Cabrera throwing out 2 batters in one game from right field. Actually, I'll probably end up showing some footage because I'm actually recording this commentary before I even put the video together. I don't know what it is, but in past MLB The Shows that was almost impossible. The base running controls are a little bit difficult in this game. Like in MVP Baseball 2005, I know I keep talking about that, but really it was a great game. But the base running controls are really easy and really fun. I've actually tried the base running controls before in MLB The Show, but they're just too hard, and I feel like I always mess up on the base paths. Also part of the reason why I do not have base running enabled in Road to the Show. And so if they could just make some easier, more dumbed down base running controls, that would actually be great. Having ball boys or ball girls on the side and next to the dugouts and in the outfield like there are in real life, it's just something that makes it realistic. So let's say McCutchen fouls back a ball, have the ball boy from the home dugout run and get it, or something like that. Or if there's a foul ball down the right field line, have the ball boy run after or something. It just adds some realism to the game. Having airplane noises in the game. Now, I know I've been to Citi Field 20 or 30 times since it's opened, and each time I'm at Citi Field, there's always a few airplanes that go over the stadium. And so if they could just add some airplane noises in the game, because if you've ever played at Petco Park, sometimes you actually see airplanes in the outfield on the horizon, but they're never airplane noises. So if they could just add airplane noises, that would actually be pretty cool. And then, let's see, Celebrity All-Star Game, and having better celebrations. When I pitched my perfect game with Moonlight Swami, he raised his hands, the catcher went to hug him, but like when people throw perfect games, they like go to the ground and like almost start crying. And then not just that celebration, but the World Series celebration, it's not the best celebration ever. And so if they could just add some better celebrations for like clinching the division or winning the division series, championship series, and World Series, perfect games, no hitters, stuff like that, it would just add just a little bit more flavor to the game. And then more frequent injuries. Very rarely does a player get injured when I'm playing the show, other than my Road to the Show player, of course. But when I sim, I feel like it always happens, and I know that there's an injuries like slider bar. I don't know if I were to raise it if it would help or not. I mean, if it does, that's great, but if it doesn't, maybe they could like fix that or just add some more injuries in the game. Have players get injured a little bit more often. The ability to call time as a hitter. You can call time as a pitcher by pressing L1. I think it's L1 anyway. But you can never call time as a batter, or I haven't noticed that you can at least. But in real life you can, and sometimes I'm at the plate and I'm like, I am not ready for this pitch, and then I swing at the worst pitch in history. And so if you can call time as a batter, that would be pretty cool. And then the catcher's glove snapping back after pitches and like very hard fastballs, or at least moving, and you know, it would just add just that little bit. Just the physics of the game need a little bit of tuning. I'm not saying they're bad. They're definitely not bad. But you know, sometimes crazy things happen. Like I was saying before, the ball goes through the bat, and like the catcher's glove snapping back would be it actually would be a very cool animation. There are only a few more things. This is only going to be one video. Sorry it's pretty long though. I hope you're enjoying it. But definitely stay tuned until the very end. I actually have a question at the very end. And let's see here. Something that people have been leaving comments about is home team announcers and home team scoreboards. This would be one of the biggest projects and one of the biggest additions to any game ever, having every announcer and every scoreboard from every team and every team station for that matter. That would be really cool. And I don't even know, I mean obviously it's possible, but and honestly this could even take a few years. This could take till 2015, this could even take till 2016, but honestly if they were to start working on it now, I don't care how long it takes, that would be one of the best additions to a game ever. And let's see, input on who to sign in Road to the Show. I was playing Road to the Show and Josh Hamilton was a free agent, and my team had about $40 million to spend, and I really wanted Josh Hamilton. And I could not tell the coach, I could not tell management that I wanted him to be on the team, obviously because it was a video game. But they had this in NBA 2K11. You could like put input in on who you want your team to sign, and if they could add that to MLB 13 the show, that would be fantastic. Let's see. Some more like clothes for Road to the Show players to wear. Like Derek Holland wears a necklace sometimes when he pitches, and I've noticed that Big Papi wears a necklace. So if you could just add some bling to your guy. If you could just add some more like necklaces and I don't know, just like accessories for your player, I think that would be pretty cool. And then having an MLB draft. This is big for me. Having a draft in MLB The Show, like obviously there's an MLB draft in real life, and there's not really a draft. You can pick your team, or you can choose a random team. And random team, I guess it's kind of like a draft, but you don't know if you went in the first round, second round. You don't know when you got picked. So if they could add an MLB draft, that would be so awesome. And then one more quick thing before this video ends, and then I have the question obviously after. Having fielders while you're taking BP. When you're taking BP before games, there's no fielders. It's just the pitcher and you. And if they could have fielders, that would be great. It would just add some more realism to it. And so anyway, that's it for this video, but I do have a quick question. Not only do I want you guys to see this video and hear about the stuff, but I want San Diego Studios, SCEA, PlayStation to, you know, have to be able to hear input from other people. Like me, I know Bafe is gonna make a wish list. Probably SGU is gonna make a wish list. I don't know, maybe even Moonlight Swami will make a wish list for 2K or for a future baseball game. I don't know, but baseball gamers like me, baseball gamers alike, they want their voice to be heard, and obviously shout out to Ronnie 2K with 2K Sports. He was listening, he invited some commentators over to try out 2K13, and they definitely added some of the things that people wanted. And I'm not saying that MLB The Show should do that, but I want them to be able to watch these videos and maybe implement some of these ideas. So if you know a way to be able to contact SCEA San Diego Studios, that would be great, because I definitely want them to hear some of these ideas. And I've actually looked in the comment section from my other 2 videos. If you've noticed, I've actually put some of your ideas in this video, and you know, I want my voice to be heard, I want your guys' voices to be heard, because you're watching my MLB 12 The Show videos, so that may mean that you play MLB 12 The Show, and you may want some additions in the game, but you may not have a YouTube channel, you may not have a YouTube account, you may not make videos, and you may not be able to make a wish list, and that's what I'm here for. And so if you guys have any other ideas, please leave them below. There will be a part 3, because I came up with a part 2 very quickly. And so anyway, that's it guys, I guess. MoTheFo16 signing out, and, well, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks a lot, guys. Peace.